You're listening to the Teach Better Talk podcast featuring expert educators eager to share progressive tactics to reach more students. Teach Better Talk is created by teachers and fueled by passion. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 197 of Teach Better Talk. My name is Ray Hewart, and as always, I am with my extremely irritating co-host, Jeff Gargis. Hi, Jeff.
Why am I irritating?
You're irritating because I had to take this take twice because, I don't know,
because
you got in my head.
I didn't do anything.
You got in my head.
So I apologize. Here's what for everyone's listen. Here's what I said to get in Ray's head. This is what I did. I said, "Yep, this is episode 197." Apparently, that's all it takes for me to get in her head, under her skin, and irritating. So
You know
I
what it's
apologize for that.
You know what it's like when you have a little brother and they're like, "I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you."
Am I the little brother in this thing?
Yes, of course you are, Jeff. Come on, you're the little brother being like, "I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you."
I just enjoy the idea of being the little brother instead of the old crumbling brother.
Oh yeah, because you're so old and crumbly.
I am. Yeah, crumbly is a great descriptive word for me.
Well,
No. How you doing, Ray? You doing all right? Are you really irritated, or is that just because you like to say that kind of stuff about me?
no, I just like picking on you. I am really excited for this podcast specifically because we have an incredible guest that was so good we had to bring him back twice because he's that good.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a DBC author. And so I thought it
Yes.
would be fun. He's doing a book giveaway in this episode that you have to listen to make sure you get all the details. But why don't we also give some other books away at the beginning of this episode and just make it a smorgasbord of DBC?
A smorgasbord. I like it.
I like it.
Do you have another book that you would like to give away? Is there a book that's maybe, I don't know, maybe been out for a couple weeks or something?
Oh, are you subtly implying my Teachers Deserve It book that just came out about 2 weeks ago? That one? Is that what you're thinking?
I was actually implying Adam Welcome's new book, Teachers Deserve It.
Ooh,
But yeah.
You did not just say that. He is my co-author, Jeff Gargis. I love that guy.
Yes, I was talking about your book that you wrote with Adam, called Teachers Deserve It, which came out. I think when this episode comes out, it's gonna be about 2 weeks old.
Yeah, exactly.
2 weeks out. And I'm assuming at this point it'll still be getting the rave reviews that it's getting right now. People are all about this book. People are starting to get it in their hands now after ordering and stuff, or at least at the time of this recording, that is. They should definitely have it by there. So I'm still waiting for my copy to actually get here, so I haven't been able to hold it yet, but I'm excited about that time, like that day when it happens.
Jeff, it's just so pretty. It's so nice.
I know it's I really like. I liked the cover because I had seen it prior to the release, but then like now that it's been out and like I'm seeing it places, I'm like, I really like the cover. Like,
yeah,
it
guys,
really came out nice.
Spoiler alert, Jeff Gargis is literally the man behind the curtain in like every element of my life, and he helped me like fall in love with the cover. He helped completely in that subtitle that I love for the book. I mean, you get all the credit. I just want you to know, Jeff, and I'll never tell Adam this, and he doesn't listen to our podcast, it doesn't matter. But you and I are the ones that like did this like deep overhaul of the subtitle. We didn't like any of the subtitle options, and then you just said it, and you said this subtitle totally nonchalantly, like, "What about this?" And I texted it to Adam, and that became the subtitle for this book. And nowhere am I giving you credit, and that's extremely intentional because I want everyone to think that I wrote it.
I'm pretty sure what I did though, as I said, just tell them that you wrote it.
And I did. And so now there's been these little snarky comments of Jeff being like, "Wow, that's a great subtitle."
Look, I have given you some stuff about the subtitle and stuff, but it's all in fun because the fact of the matter, all I did was repeat back to you what you told me the book was about. And I think you just needed that sort of that different that outside perspective of like, yeah, but this is what the book is about, like, right? It's about what teachers deserve, why they don't have it, and how we can go get it, right? And that's what you guys did.
Literally.
And that's what you did, and I love it. So, all right, let's do. What do you want to? How many want to give? You want to give away a couple copies? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I want to give away a whole pile.
All right, listeners. So later on in this episode, you can get a copy of Derek McCoy's book. So there's one, and Ray apparently is going to give away a whole pile of books here. I don't know how many books you can fit in a pile, but
A big pile, a lot,
a
a
bit.
very tall pile.
All right. So how many are we doing?
I have no idea. You wanna do, like, 3? I don't know.
It's just
How many you wanna give away? How
a
big is
big
a
tall pile of three
well, you know
books.
what? If you took 3 books and you put on top of a refrigerator, it would be really, really tall. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's do three.
You
So
sound so
three
just okay,
books,
let's do 4. Listen to you. Okay,
four,
let's do 3.
four copy. I was thinking two, but then you started talking about big piles and stuff. I'm trying not to let anybody
12
down.
copies.
So
Just
we're gonna give
kidding.
away four copies of Teachers Deserve It. Ray, what do we need to do? I think you did something on a recent podcast you were telling me about. Can we do it? Let's do that. How about you have everyone do that one?
Yeah, guys, I really love this challenge because I feel like it holds you accountable in the same way that the book does. So, Teachers Deserve It is all about identifying areas that that teachers don't have. Right? Teachers deserve higher pay. They deserve smaller class sizes. They deserve respect. They deserve good leadership. And the reality is I really hope, and I'm going to say this 1,000 more times. I really hope this book is irrelevant in 5 to 10 years. I hope that a new teacher, is picking up this book in 10 years and goes, wait, teachers deserve respect? What are you talking about? Teachers are like the most respected profession out there. What? Teachers deserve good leadership? Oh, leadership is just incredible in this field. And I want this whole book to become an action plan for us to start controlling the narrative. So to win a copy of Teachers Deserve It, it's super simple. I want you to share out one thing, well, pick only one thing teachers deserve, and I want you to tell us what you're doing to control the narrative in that area. So I know it's a lot to fit in a tweet. You're going to have to use the hashtag teachers deserve it and the hashtag teach better. And also, it would be like totally above and beyond to make sure you tag Jeff and I, because we want to make sure we see it, especially if you can tag the Teach Better team. Remember, you can do that in a picture too if you want to save some characters. But share out, what do teachers deserve, and what work are you doing right now to start controlling the narrative and make that a reality? Love it.
Just giving a little tip here. If you don't think you can fit that all into a tweet, just do a video and then just tweet the
Ooh,
hashtags and include video because then we get to see your pretty face and stuff too. So that's a
yes,
plus,
I
right?
love that idea.
Love it. All right, so there's how you can win four copies of Teachers Deserve It there. Now you got to listen to the rest of this episode to figure out how you can win Derek's book as well. So this episode, Derek McCoy, we had him on. This worked out like perfectly. I would love to say it was planned, but it just worked. This episode 197, Derek was episode 97. So exactly 100 episodes ago, we had Derek on. That was back in August of 2019, so about a year ago. And this is a perfect time to have him on too because Derek is starting as a principal in a brand new school district, new state. He moved states and everything. Getting back into this. So Derek McCoy, if you don't know him, he's the author of "The Revolution Is Here." It's if you follow Revolt LAP, Revolt Like a Pirate, that hashtag that's based off of Derek's book. He's 10 years as a principal. He's a middle school principal down in now in Asheboro, North Carolina. And we talked to him about what he's doing right now with his community, getting ready to come into a brand new school and community, during COVID and during this just unknown times, what he's doing to build relationships with his staff, which I love how he did that and what he plans to do in the future with things. I really did like this guy. Just dig listen to him and just having him you kind of hear his passion, you hear his experience and just his love for what he does. So I really enjoy having Derek on. Ray, anything to take away?
Huge fan. Guys, if you're not connected to this guy, you're making a mistake. So go pause right now and go connect with him as you're tweeting at us.
All right, with that, let's get an episode 197 with Derek McCoy. All right, we are here and we are chatting with Derek McCoy. And Derek, it's so awesome to have you back on the show. Some people who've been listening for a while might know that you were here back almost a little over right around a year ago, August of 2019, episode 97. Was it 97? Did I just say that? I just told you and then I forgot.
Yeah, it
I
was
think it was 90.
97, so almost exactly 100
I was going to
episodes
say,
ago.
and now we're
That's
at
gonna be cool.
197. So exactly, we needed to get 100 episodes in between and then decide to bring you back. So how are you feeling right now, man?
I'm feeling like last year, almost 11 months ago, well, 12 months ago, um, with COVID added to it, feels like 12 years ago. So it feels like a long time since I've been connecting with you guys. I'm good. I'm very good. We, this is an extraordinary time, but just very, very blessed to be here and always happy to reconnect and have good conversations. So thank you guys.
Well, Derek, we're so excited to have you back here. For our listeners, if they didn't catch your episode, and they obviously are going to go back to re-listen to it, but would you mind telling us a little about yourself if this is the first time our audience is connecting with you?
Please, yeah, and absolutely go back and listen to that other episode. We'll pause right here and let you guys go back and so dramatic pause and catch back up. Yeah, so my name is Derek. I'm a middle school principal in Asheboro City Schools, North Carolina. I just started with Asheboro City Schools July 2nd. This is my 10th year being a principal. Uh, great, a great career. I love life. I love what I do. I'm a committed middle school educator. 2014 National Digital Principal of the Year, author of The Revolution It's Time to Empower Change in Our School, co-author, I should say, with my brother from another mother, Darren Elwayne. Just connected learner, and just happy to lend voices to people whose voices aren't always heard. So happy to be here.
It's awesome to have you back. I want to dive right into this. And we were talking just briefly before we hit record that you moved back to North Carolina, you're starting with a brand new school, new district, new state. In the midst of everything that's going on, in the midst of this pandemic and not knowing what school's going to look like, and maybe starting different than we end up, or switching this and all this going back, and so much confusion, so much trauma to deal with. How is that going? Where are you at right now? Where is your focus right now? We're recording this on the 3rd of August, getting ready to go back here. Where is your focus? What are you really zeroing in on right now when you get ready to start this new year with so many unknowns?
Yeah, and I can't say enough about just how stoked I am to be in this new district. Superintendent, the central office has a good, clear focus and vision for students, and it just comes off as sincere. But really, Jeff and Ray, when I tell you that the teachers love kids, you just see it and hear it in everything that they say, and I hear it in the community. So yeah, there's a lot of wow. Are we going to have? How are we going to have school? Is it going to be remote? Is it going to be partial? But really, the best conversations and the only real conversation we need to be having at this point, and the conversation that teachers are really diving into, is spending the first couple of weeks. Let's take care of kids. Do kids have what they need? How can I be there for the kids? How can I make sure the kids are healthy? And when I tell you guys, that is what we are sincerely planning the first couple of weeks. That's it. Content will come. And if you want to get creative with some things that you're doing, cool. But man, we're just going to have two metrics starting off this year. Find out if your kids are okay, and how well do your kids know you love them. And that's it. Just to start off the year, we're good. And we'll get into the digital learning, the remote learning, the content whenever we can. But kids first, and that's what makes this part so great and awesome, is that we're just looking at kids' well-being and health.
Well, Derek, I really love that because there's so many educators out there, myself included. As a classroom teacher, I have some concerns about going back. And so it's wonderful to hear from a principal, especially one who's taking on a new role in a new building and saying, like, hey, I got you. Like, we're in this together. I feel like that message, I know it doesn't necessarily answer all the questions we're hoping to have answered, but the reassurance that you are focused on the students, focused on the teachers, and yes, everything else will come after that once we all make sure we're all taken care of, is extremely reassuring to a teacher like me going back to the classroom, knowing that we're like in it together versus me like figuring it out alone. I love that approach you're taking with your staff.
I think there's a lot of reflections that we can make at this point, looking back over, from February to the summer. Um, and I'm not talking about how well you made packets or how well you responded with digital learning. It's just where are your priorities, and did your actions reflect priorities? you know. So our kids, I've heard so many success stories about kids, about districts who went to extraordinary lengths to feed kids, you know, pulling all kind of personnel to make sure that that's happening. um, uh, families needing resources, and school districts going above and beyond. So that helps. That really, it's not just heartening to hear, but it just, I think it's just good fire and passion fuel for people to see that, hey, this is a good reminder about why I got into this. And when we keep that primary array, we can put all of our stuff, all of our efforts and work through that lens, and we'll be happier and healthier for it. And that's when kids start running through walls for us. I that's what I know, the best experiences that I've had have been with kids that we've connected with. So that's really what I'm asking teachers to do, is to build up some firm relationships right now, because at this point, half of our students are coming back 2 days a week. So Monday and Tuesday, we're seeing half of our kids, and Thursday and Friday, we're seeing half of our kids right now. That's what's happening. But we might go back to all of our kids being remote, or at some point, we're going to be uh, to a point where all our kids come back. So there's going to be a mix of all of that. The one constant through all of it is we can let our parents can know that we have a good, clear mission, to that we want to take care of our kids, that we're there for our kids, and there for all of our kids, and we're going to go through extraordinary measures to take care of them. And we're going to be some fantastic designers to boot.
Hmm. I think that's so important for that to be the foundation. So speaking of relationships, you're coming into a brand new school with, your team, your staff that you may have never met, before. How are you working right now? Are you able to see them? Are you guys able to get together? How are you building your relationships with your staff
Oh,
with
Jeff.
this a little bit different world?
Jeff, I'm so glad you asked that. That was literally all I was thinking of. I'm like, Derek, tell us your tips and tricks.
So Jeff and Ray, this is why Teach Better is just a step above everybody else. You guys ask the great questions, and you're just on the same page, right?
So, Derek, to confirm, does that mean that you're on Team Ray? Just to confirm who you like best out of Jeff and Ray.
So, and that's the other thing. You guys can't see that my Team Ray shirt is nice and clean. So, yeah.
Yes! Made my
um,
day.
so, let me tell you, people. So here's more reflection. People really, they draw back to what they prefer, right? So we all prefer face to face. We all prefer the touch, and we all prefer that conversation from somebody who's close. But not, I don't want to say but. The reality, though, is now technology lets us have that same conversation. So when I was announced when the board approved me earlier, I think it was April, May, something along those times. I had one-on-one uh, virtual meetings with every teacher in the school building. And when I tell you great conversations, it was tremendous. Just great conversations. We had wonderful talks, and I gave them that time, and I asked them, tell me something I need to know, tell me something you're proud of, and we kind of answered that question, but we often just talk for. The shortest conversation was I think 53 minutes, and the longest was almost 2 hours. And we did a lot of repeating, and then we got into the texting, and then we got into the small group meetings. So by the time I got here in July, it was like, oh hey, yeah, I know you, and seeing teachers one on one, face to face. And this past week has been a hoot in that. So I'm at a middle school again. Just a reminder. I did grade level. It was meet your principal grade level virtual meetings, right? So I sent out a Google Meet invitation to all the grade levels using our Gmail account, our district student Gmail accounts. So we had small numbers on the first round, and then slightly bigger numbers on the second round. But any and all students and parents, we had students and parents. They were asking great questions. Not so much about me, which is cool, um, because the purpose of the meeting was twofold: meet your principal and ask your questions about school. Because we do have a pandemic going on, and they would just had a lot of process questions, and it was cool. It was cool. Um, I I will always do that from here on out. When we get out of this pandemic, I will always while I'm a principal, I will set up grade level talks with all of my students and parents in the summer. It's better than any letter. It's better than any phone call. Um, just the virtual part, it was cool. I met so many kids. I saw into some kids' lives. So one of my seventh graders asking tremendous questions. Her mom came into the room and she asked a question about our remote learning plan and and on days off, being able to help uh, her sibling who's a couple years younger. And she went and got the sibling, and they just sat together and got another sibling. I saw into that child's life. It was I will always do that whenever I can. It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
I love that idea of having a principal that can meet with those grade level teachers and also then be able to meet with parents who they're going to have different questions and you get to build relationships with both of them. I mean, that is so ideal that we're able to just make sure that the communication is just kind of, I don't know, like across all boards, all stakeholders feel like they're being heard. I love all these pieces.
But it involves a shift in our thinking, Ray. We're some of us we can't let go of, oh, it's got to be face to face. Oh, technology is this, that, and other. We when we let go and embrace, and it's not about embracing technology; it's about embracing the opportunity that's in front of you, which in this case is technology. But when we embrace opportunities, we're going to make some great connections. So it's it, it really is about yes, we have this going on right now, but what are we about? I want to be about I want to be about, and I want people to know that I'm about taking care of kids, connecting kids, answering questions. Since then, I'm getting inundated with emails from kids about process questions, and I'm answering any and every last one of them. That is, to me, that's what every principal wants. Every principal wants to be a principal and maintain those relationships with kids, and that's a great way to do it.
No, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And you're absolutely right. So I have to know with all these pieces you're doing, and granted, you are doing so much. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying hearing all your stories and strategies. Like this is so up my alley and what I needed tonight. But when it comes to what's exciting you right now in education, what would that be? What's really like fueling the fire in the work that you're doing?
Jeff, you're gonna have to step up your question game because Ray is killing you right now. I,
Yes.
I don't
Boom.
I don't know what the deal is, but that's where we are. Just calling it
It's
out.
just how it
So
is.
it's
This is
okay,
how
Derek.
it
He's my co-host. It's fine.
is. so this is true. This is as real as it gets. So um, I'm a black male educator. I've taught in predominantly black schools, some low socioeconomic economic um, diverse schools. I'll just say diverse schools. So I've always had an eye on. I've always had a focus on diversity, and I've looked. I've had a lot of a lot of my work has been through that lens. But I joined a district that is laser focused on race and equity and making sure, and you know what, removing barriers. That's it. Race and equity, removing barriers. I've joined this district in July 2nd. I've been to two principal meetings. The first one was as simple as it gets. Here's our data, and it was academic. It was discipline. It was all over. We're showing how there's disproportionate decisions and effects on African Americans, on Black students, Brown students. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? No excuses. It was that's about that very brief summary was about it. So, and then we got charged. Principals got charged. Create equity teams in your schools. Have some real talks. Do some real works. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. So what has me fired up now is not. I am literally living diversity, equity, and inclusion practices and beliefs and mind shifts. I'm reading a book now. Well, and it's been out a while, but it was not on my reading. It was not on my reading stack, but I'm literally I put away my stack and I'm reading it right now. White Fragility, Robin DiAngelo.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
so I, I what has me on fire right now, Jeff and Ray, is okay. X is keeping X, whatever it is keeping brown or black students excluded from this, and whatever it is, or X is affecting these students like this. So now what? So the reality is, if I let X stay there, then I am perpetuating that. So X got to go. Now the work is us having that talk of removing these systemic barriers in our school with other people and getting them fired up and involved. And I'm gonna tell you, it's just about barrier recognition, barrier noticing barriers, identifying barriers, and then knocking down some barriers. So I'm just fired up that we're just gonna take an approach like that's it. Now that's it and that's done. So I I am I'm geeked up. I'm geeked up.
I love it, man. Recognize those barriers and then knock them down. I love that. Love that
Yeah,
approach. Um, all right, I'm gonna try and step it up here for you. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw six
please do.
questions at you really quick. But
Please do.
before we do that, let's do something fun. You were so gracious, so awesome again to say, hey, let's give away a copy of the book. So let's give away a copy of your book. The Revolution is here. Um, and let's Ray, what do you think? I think we just have them maybe give a hashtag teach better. And just share why they want the book. Derek, can you give us the 30-second breakdown of what the book is about? Can you give us like the commercial pitch?
Absolutely. Dave Burgess quizzes us regularly on our elevator pitch. So, okay, and here we go. Uh, don't be the teacher you had when you were a student. Be the revolutionary your learners need. Create learner centered environments and learning experiences that are relevant and serving to the students, to the learners in front of you. Don't create worksheet experiences that you had when you were a student. We're creating globally connected learners. We're showing them their path and helping them light their passions so that they can amaze us. the revolution is your first step in creating the school your learners deserve.
Mm. And if that sounds like a book that you want, trust me, it is. Do us a favor, tweet out or hit us. Let's go to Twitter. Tweet out on Twitter. Hashtag teach better talk. Let us know, why do you want the book? What kind of revolution are you trying to start in your classroom, your school? What are you trying to do for your kids to become the learner that, or the teacher that your learners need? So, Derek, really appreciate you giving a copy away. If you haven't already listened to Derek's first episode with us, it was episode 97. So if you go to teachbetter.com/podcast/Derek McCoy, you can actually, we talk about the book a little bit more in that episode, so you can get a little more in depth in there. But tweet out, let us know what you think, and we're going to give away a copy of that. So that's awesome. Appreciate that. So let's do this, Derek. Next 6 questions I'm going to throw at you. Your goal is 15 seconds or less. And what's great is we can compare these to the last time you were on. I think that'll be fun to do.
Okay, let's try.
All right. So, all right, give us one ed tech tool you cannot live without.
Jamboard.
Give us a book you're reading right now.
White Fragility.
Who do we need to follow on social media today? You can give us up to 3.
Oh my gosh. Darren Elwayne, Basil Martin, Sine Bell.
What's a good YouTube channel or website for educators?
Baruti Kafele, doing some great stuff with the sister principals right now.
Give us a daily, weekly, or monthly routine every teacher should get into.
Self-care. 30-minute walk, 30-minute jog, 30 minutes a day for yourself. Just make it happen.
And what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I'm going to credit this to Malata Hill, principal in Cumberland County. I'm sorry. This is Dr. Donna Peters in North Carolina. There are very few tough decisions that a person makes, but there are always tough conversations. Make the conversations worthy.
Oh, I like that.
Boom. Oh, that was a great one.
All right, let's look back about a year ago.
Uh-oh.
Let's see where we're at. Let's see
I know
they're different.
You know, COVID ages a person and makes another person wiser. So I know they're different.
Yeah, that's true. So, all right. So the ed tech tool you said back then was Evernote.
Ooh,
the book you were reading was Relentless by Hamish Brewer.
Ooh, yeah.
You told us that we needed to follow Jimmy Casas, Marlena Gross Taylor, Dwight Carter, and Darren Elwin. All still great follows, by the way.
Yep.
The blog you said Teach Better, which is perfectly good. Daily, weekly, monthly routine. You said take care of yourself. So still sticking on that. That's always important. Self-care. And the best piece of advice you said was, you gave us 2 actually. Inspect what you expect, and then hold people's feet to the fire while you're giving them a back rub, which is one of my favorites, by the way.
So that one, the quote this year about leaders and about conversations and decisions, and the feet to the fire, same person. Her name is Dr. Donna Peters. She was on Twitter. She's not on Twitter anymore, but she's on LinkedIn. She is probably she is the best leadership developer, ed leadership developer, period, that a lot of people probably don't know about. She was North Carolina Principal of the Year for like 2012 or 11 or something like that, but phenomenal. And I mean phenomenal.
Oh, that is so awesome. Wow. I have loved chatting with you. I know this was like a guest that we've had on a time before. And Derek, you never know, like when you have people back on, I could listen to you all day. Honestly, I think that your mindset, your perspective is so spot on. And I so appreciate you joining us. I want to make sure that our listeners can stay connected to you, because now they have 2 podcasts that they can go listen to from different points in like snapshots in your life that they can go learn from. But also, I know you're going to continue to do amazing things. How can people stay connected?
Well, Ray, thank you for those kind words. And you and your quality of questions make conversations easy. Jeff, yeah, you're there. So my Twitter handle is my Twitter handle is McCoy Derek. That's also my website, mccoyderek.com. You can find me there, and links to our books, um, and book me for speaking engagements and whatnot. What else? Facebook, LinkedIn, it's all McCoy Derek. I I'm here to help. I'm here to connect. I'm here to help you. We're we're not going to have a great year unless your kids are having a great year. So let's do what we can to help your kids have a great year. The book is called The Revolution. It's time to empower change in our school, and we use the hashtag RevoltLap, revolt like a pirate. So it's an active hashtag. You can find us there. We put resources out, and we just started a podcast ourselves and have a couple people out there, but we're working on getting as great as you are, Ray.
I'm loving it. You can find all the links, all the resources, everything we talked about in this episode over at teachbetter.com. So make sure you head over there to the show notes because you also get those really important links for connecting with Derek and keeping the conversation going. So head over to teachbetter.com for all of that. Be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. And if you can give us a rating and a review, we'd really appreciate that as well. And let's keep taking this one step further. Think of just 3 of your colleagues who need to hear these amazing stories and share this podcast with them. Derek, it was so awesome to have you on again and chat with you again about a year later, getting your perspective now as you're moving into this new school and helping out a whole new community. We really appreciate you coming on, appreciate your insight, always appreciate chatting with you. Thank you very much.
All joking aside, Jeff, much love. I appreciate you for having me on. It's good to connect with you too.
I appreciate you, man. And until next time, let's get out there. Let's teach better.